WURD Philadelphia, celebrating 20 years of progressive Black talk media, streaming online at wordradio.com and the Word Radio app. The views and opinions expressed by the guests, listeners, and hosts of any program on Word Radio do not necessarily reflect those of the ownership, management, or advertisers of this station.
I'm simply saying that life finds a way.
All right, people, write something on the board. Let's spell it. First letter.
L O G.
What's that? What?
It's time. It's time to have real, honest, open, difficult, and inspiring conversations. It's time for Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hello there, family, and welcome to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. You know that's WURD radio.com. Today is Monday, April 24th. And I am your host, Carol Riddick, and I am joined by the incomparable Miss Kayla J, who is making sure everything runs smoothly. I hope you are having a great start to your week thus far. I mean, we can't complain about this weather, right? Am I right about it? We cannot complain about this beautiful, beautiful weather. I hope you're getting out there and getting some of it, soaking it all in. You know, it's time for our check-in. It is time for our check-in. I'd like to check in and see how you are doing. For our family members on our socials, you know, we like to see a hello. We like to know how your weekend was, how your day is going, all of that good stuff. Family, you know, this is the usual drill. For those of you who are newcomers to our space and to the show, that's what we do. We like to check on our spirits. You know, we like to make sure everybody is good and send them some extra love in the event they are not. So, for those of our family members whose light is shining just a little dimly, just to know that I am sending you some extra love and some virtual hugs. I'm sending it to each and every one of you, of course, but to those who need some extra, I'm sending some extra love to you, okay? Because we all need that every now and again. I know I do. How about that? Okay, I know I do. So, family, I want to tell you I'm excited about our guest. I know what you're saying. I'm always excited. Yes, I am. I admit that. But I am exceptionally excited today because I love this woman. Okay. I love her. She's such a well-known artist, but her career spans a few moons. I'll say that. Okay. I find that she has one of the most silkiest and smoothest voices I've ever heard. And not to mention her personality. I think she's she's a beacon of light. I will say that. Her personality is magnetic. And she is here to talk with us about love, life, her career, and what's next. All of that good stuff. Family, I invite you to meet MAYSA.
Hello.
Hello, beautiful. How are you?
I'm good.
You see, I'm all excited. MAYSA saying, when I see you, you are not on 10. I am on 10. I am on 10. When I tell y'all, family, I was inviting MAYSA to come out and hang out with us and spend some time. And we were trying to get it together. I was like, no, I want her to come.
No, it's been a rough. This year has been just different. Different.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it, Maysa.
Yeah.
Different. You know, I think because we're all still kind of in limbo. We would like to believe we're not, but we are
Yeah.
kind of in limbo. You know, still trying to
Yeah.
trying to find our way.
Yeah.
First of
It is. I mean, it's good. I mean, we're coming back from a crazy pandemic, so it's a lot going on, and we just have to just embrace it and keep moving. That's all I can do.
Agreed. Agreed. But that's life in general, right? I mean,
Yeah.
hey, you never know what you're going to be hit with. I want to take a moment to say hello to Nasir, who is joining us on our socials. Nasir says, "Good evening, Sister Carol and Maysa. Peace and blessings." Hey there, Nasir. Thank you for joining us. We have our family members who join us on our socials too, Maysa, and they
Oh,
send us,
nice.
yes, so they reach out and they say, "Hey, how y'all doing?"
Hey.
All of that good stuff. So they check in with us throughout the night, which I love. I love. I love that love that they share.
Oh
But
yeah,
yeah, just it's interesting talking about what you were saying coming out of the pandemic. Here we are. It's 2023, and
yeah.
I don't know about you, but when the world started to open up, I was still scared. I was still scared to go
Yeah.
out. I was terrified. I
Yeah.
think we talked about that.
Yeah, we did. We did. 'Cause,
Yeah.
and I see some people that the whole mask thing has just gone to the ground now. That
Mm.
I still wear my mask sometimes. I feel silly wearing it now because people look at me like, "Oh, why you still got that on?" But people are still getting COVID. I don't know why they think things super change. I mean, it's not as severe like they're saying sometimes, and then they send another report. Oh, there's another strain today, and they're like, "Oh God!" I'm like, I don't know what. I just know that in our profession we can't get sick. Not one day. So
That
we
right
can't.
there. As they say,
Mhm.
that part right there. I know we want to be out and about, and I like being out and about.
Mhm.
But you know how it is. Since we are creatives and we're nothing but love bugs, we get
Yeah.
out there and here we are, and we see all of our family members. That's what I refer to everybody as. We see all our
Yeah.
family members, and we want to exchange all that love. But in the
Yeah.
back of my mind, in the back of your mind, well, like we shared, in the back of
Yeah.
our minds, we're saying, "I love you, but I want to love you from back like 10 feet away right now."
Yeah. And
And
I'm
I don't
so
want you to be
sorry.
mad.
It's like it is what it is.
I don't
We're
want you to be
trying to
mad
be because
at
people say, "Oh, she's up for the look." This little dog. I'm doing an interview, Blue. Like really? Can you do
Oh,
that right
hi,
now?
Blue.
Blue is like tripping out on me. He needs a haircut, so he looks
Mm,
like me right now. Like we
oh,
got twins today.
look at Blue. Well, I better not get too excited because Chloe will want to see my
Okay.
baby. My fur baby will
Okay.
want to know why I'm getting so excited.
Ah,
Look at Blue.
it's a trip.
Hi, Blue.
He is a mess. I had to get him flimmed down. Okay, okay, go sit down now. But I
Oh,
can't do what you like. These dogs, like they have, like they're half human. They gotta be because
oh yeah.
he has me trained now. He comes to me. If I'm sitting here, he'll hit my hip and like tell me like do whatever he wants me to do. And I can't do it right now. I don't know why my
Chloe
brother
does
let
the
me.
same thing to me.
Oh, really?
Chloe does the if I Mesa, I'm sure you can relate because I'm sure you have pictures or video of your fur baby looking at you, giving you looks when you're not doing something that they want you to do.
Right.
Because she will give me a look like she's the disciplinarian around here.
No, it's
I,
crazy. Then they're not trying to talk.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm serious. I'm waiting because I think this one of all the fur children I've ever had, I think this one, I think
Uh-huh.
she just might say something to me. She just might say a full sentence to me. I think she will.
I'm
I
trying to
think she
tell
will.
you.
And you're right when you say that they have us trained because this one here,
No.
she doesn't want me. Like I can't. Okay, so I get up early, but
Mm,
some days you just don't have it in you. Some days you're like, okay, I'm
right.
gonna wake up slowly today. She will come and
I know.
tap me, and then sit right there, tap me. Miss, can I relax? That's what she does.
Tell you, girl, this is how it needs to look. What? Blue.
He
Anyway,
said, "Listen, I
I'm
want to
put him
be
away. I'm
invited."
gonna have to step out and put him away for a second because he's gonna drive me crazy. Obviously, gonna
Oh,
make me nuts.
not the
I'm not gonna let him do it today. I'm
not the
trying to see.
baby, not the. So
Okay.
Mesa,
Mhm.
I want to say first. You heard me say how excited I am to have you here, to have you come and talk with us. Because like I said, on Love and Life, we talk about everything. We talk about love, we talk about life, we talk about everything in between. So I'm
Mhm.
so glad that you had the time, number one,
Mhm.
to share with us, to come and sit and chit and chat, as my mother would say.
Oh
Well, she would say chat and chew, but we don't have a meal here. So we're going to
yeah.
chit and chat.
I know. Look, I cooked yesterday. That was enough for me.
What did you cook?
I just cooked stewed beef. It's beef and rice basically. But I had to cook the rice during karaoke last night. It was crazy. I tried to get Wanda to do it. Wanda didn't know what she was doing, and then my cousin came in. They put too much water in it. I was like, I can't sing to everybody and then cook rice at the same time. Somebody help me.
That's a fun. Wait, that's the funniest. You said they couldn't make rice,
I
but listen, it's no, because rice is, to get it right, to get that right texture.
It is.
It's not the easiest thing.
No, it's not.
It's
it
not.
really isn't.
I can't be
The
mad.
water ratio is the thing, and I put less water than needed, or that they tell you to put in the recipe because I don't like that sticky, nasty rice. I like it to be
She said that
separated.
sticky,
You know how just silly stuff, but yeah, that's what I like.
I'm not mad at that. So, okay, for our family members who are unfamiliar with your karaoke nights, can you tell us about your karaoke nights?
Well, on Sunday nights, I started in 2016. Walter Beasley suggested that I start my own Facebook Live thing. And I did, went on one night, and the lady said, people said, "MAYSA, you going to come back next Sunday?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'll come back next Sunday." So I did. And then they said, "You come back next Sunday?" I was like, "Okay." So we just started. It was just MAYSA's Karaoke Sundays. And then I had a fire here at this house. This is where I grew up, this house right here. And we refurbished the house, and we were almost done. And I decided to do a Christmas Eve karaoke from here. And one of my cousins, we were all sitting around the island. The island wasn't even finished, but we were all sitting around and eating pizza and doing karaoke. And she said, "This is MAYSA's Kitchen Karaoke." And so that's how the name got stuck with me forever.
I love that. You know who introduced me to your kitchen karaoke? Jeff Bradshaw.
Oh, really?
He was talking about it. He was talking. He's like, "Yeah, I gotta go down there. I gotta go down there to MAYSA's Kitchen Karaoke."
Okay, for real. That would be great.
He introduced me to your kitchen karaoke. So how long have you been doing it now?
2016, long time, 7 years now.
2016.
Yeah.
MAYSA.
I started before the pandemic. A lot of our colleagues teasing me, "Why would you do that? People are not going to come to your shows now." And I'm like, no, the shows are selling out now because of karaoke. Like, people want to see the show now. So it's just like, we developed a big family, and it's really fun. And the Facebook has been a little bit interesting, like, but I'm still navigating, trying this whole thing. And it's just been, it started out, it was slow, and then it got to be like almost 100,000 people a week. And then during the pandemic, it grew even more than that. And then when they decided they didn't want to deal with the publishing stuff, then it got a little more difficult. Even though it was me, they would send me a letter every week saying, we had to block you because you perform music by MAYSA. And I'm like, here we go. I'm like, I am MAYSA.
Yeah. I hate that. I hate that. I can't say it enough. Like, I'm just trying to live. I'm just trying to live. I'm just trying to be me. How about that?
Right,
I'm just trying
to be me. Just trying to be myself and just sing my own music. Thank you.
And they don't want you to do so. Family, hey there. If you have just joined us, you're tuned in to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. We are talking with none other than MAYSA, the beautiful, the talented MAYSA. And she's filling us in on some things, just what's going on in life. That's all we're talking about. But we're happy to have you here with us. And we're inviting you to say hello if you want to do so. You can do so via social media. We welcome that. But you can also call us at 215-634-8065. Or you can call us toll free at 1-866-361-0900. And there's Chloe. And there she is, right on cue. There she is. Okay.
No, wait for this one. If he hears her, he's sitting right here. He ain't saying anything yet.
Well, I'm glad he did not hear her. Because Chloe, when she she's relentless. Okay. So in any event, 2016, you started Kitchen Karaoke. So you said at one point there were over 100,000 people that joined
a week. Yeah, 100,000 people a week. It was crazy.
It is. That's wonderful. That's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was great, but they've since cut me down to very little views because, like I say, it's a shadow ban or whatever they put on it. I don't know. they stopped the notifications for it. So a lot of people don't think I'm on. And a lot of people, what I hate is that a lot of people think that I stopped it because we went back to work, and that's not true. I've been doing it since when I go to work. When I'm not working, I've been doing it for a long time. So I want people to come back.
Wow.
Yeah, working on it.
You know what? I'm mad about that. I don't understand why they try to throw these monkey wrenches in our lives.
I know. It's like, come on, man. It's like just, and the thing is, I help them with advertising. We do all that. I don't know what's going on. It's just weird. I just got to find somebody inside to help me, and I just don't know who that is yet. So, but I will.
So I want to talk about this amazing and illustrious career of yours. I think the first time I met you, Maysa, I was fangirling. We used to have a club here called Zanzibar Blue.
Oh, right.
And I think do you remember Zanzibar?
Yeah, I love Zanzibar.
Yes, I think that was where I first met you, if I remember correctly.
Wow, that's a long time ago.
It was. Yes, it was.
Wow.
Yes, it
Was that
was.
in the 90s?
Yeah.
Late 90s? Okay.
Yeah.
Early
Yeah.
2000s, yeah.
It was in the night. It was late 90s, early. Yeah, you're right. Yep, late 90s, early 2000s.
Wow.
And you would come in town, and I couldn't wait. I couldn't wait. I said, well, you know where I will be, because I must tell you, I've always, and I've told you this too, but family, you're going to hear what I tell her every single time I see her. We don't see each other often now, but when I do, I say to her, I love your voice. I love your voice.
And I say the same to Carol.
I tell every single time, like, oh, I just can't wait. I just can't wait to hear her. Because you do, I just think your tone, everything about your voice is just amazing.
Oh,
it is. And your music, of course. The funny thing, I said, we're gonna have MAYSA on, and somebody said, oh, yeah. Does she do R&B and jazz? And I was thinking, yeah. But when I read your bio or any information about you, you're always listed as a jazz vocalist.
I know.
And well, same here. That's same,
right.
Same here. But
and we do all of it. So it's so strange that they want to pigeonhole us into something we're not. It's crazy.
It is. It really is. It's always interesting to me how the world has to put you in one box. Like, you just can't be.
Right.
There can't be any facets. You can't be
mature Black music has to be jazz. That's all. It can't be.
That's it.
It can't be mature R&B or whatever. We're not talking about booties and all that kind of stuff. So we have to be put in the category of jazz. That's the only difference.
Hello.
It's crazy.
It really is. It's really interesting how how the decision was made, how that decision was made, and how it's managed. Because that's what happens when you talk about a mature, as you said, a mature artist of color. That's automatically what we are. We're jazz artists.
Yeah.
And there's no gray area. That's just what it is.
Right.
That's just what it is. So let me ask you, the first. Now, one thing I wanted to ask you about too, because I read that you were classically trained.
I am, yeah.
I said, no wonder. That's all of that fantastic.
No, I need to go back again and get some more training. It's been quite a while. When I was at Morgan State University, I had trained as an opera singer. I was supposed to be an opera singer, but I decided I didn't want to be an opera singer. I wanted to sing jazz and R&B. So that's where I turned that direction. But yeah, my degree is in classical performance, and it was great training. My teacher is Betty Malchus Ridgway, and she is a white teacher, but she knows how to train Black voices. That's her forte. And she's a lot of opera singers from Morgan State that she trained.
Opera. Y'all, family, you hear this? Because first of all, I would listen to MAYSA sing anything, but I would love, because I love opera. I love opera too.
Wow, yeah.
I've got.
I recorded an aria. Yeah, I recorded an aria on my album All My Life. It's a song. It's an aria just before All My Life. I don't know what made me. I was inspired to do that before I wrote the song All My Life, and then all of a sudden I said, I should write an aria to open up with this. So I wrote this. In Italian. I don't know. It's kind of crazy.
Oh, MAYSA. Now, see, I'm going to look for that because I wasn't aware of that. I'm going to have to look for that.
Yeah.
So now I want to go back to this. We were talking about how the world and everything with COVID and the pandemic and all of that.
Mhm.
Were you like, well, I'm not gonna say the rest of us, but me. Because when
Mhm.
they first shut the world down, when I
Ooh.
tell you I stood in a panic, I freaked out. I
Wow.
freaked out. I really did freak out. I had this moment of saying, okay, God, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing right now. I don't know what is supposed to be happening right now.
Right.
But I didn't know. Of course, nobody knew what was going to happen with the world.
Yeah.
Like family, you see me getting carried away. I'm so happy to have Mesa here. It's time for us to take a break, and I'm talking with her and about to start a new conversation. Listen, we're going to take a short break, but when we come back, we will continue our
Mhm.
discussion. Stay with us because we'll be right back.
Thank you.
Opera Philadelphia turns back the clock on the classic love story with a bold new production of La Boheme, the cherished opera that inspired the musical Rent. Journey backwards in time as the story and music are presented in reverse, ending with the joy of first love. Don't miss Puccini's La Boheme, April 28th through May 7th at the Academy of Music. Tickets start at $25. Visit operaphila.org to purchase.
Did you know Henry Ossawa Tanner, the first internationally known African-American painter, lived and studied right here in Philadelphia? As the first Black student admitted to the prestigious Pennsylvania Academy of the Fine Arts, Tanner broke barriers with his innovative, moving paintings and influenced generations of artists around the world. To find out more about the efforts to preserve his legacy and North Philadelphia childhood home, visit thetannerhouse.org, a message from the Friends of the Tanner House. What are you waiting for? If you've been enjoying the information and interviews WURD provides every day, or come out to our community events, it might be time to become a member. This year marks the 20th anniversary of WURD, and there's no better time to join the forward movement. Sign up or renew your sustaining membership at just $90, or your digital membership for just $5 a month. Join online at wordradio.com/membership, or pick up the phone and give us a call at 215-425-7875. Press 4 for assistance. The time to join is now.
What am I waiting for?
You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. Hey there, family. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. That's WURDradio.com. And we are joined by none other than MAYSA. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. It just doesn't. It doesn't. So our assistant in song is here sharing with us, talking about everything. You know how we do here on Love and Life. Listen, family members, if you are with us on our socials, let us know you're out there. Say hey, send us some love so we can send you some love back, because if you send us a shout out, I will do my best to read it on the air. And I always say I'll do my best, but I do. I get them in, don't I? I get them in. But before the break, I was asking Mesa a question about when life changed for all of us.
Mm-hmm.
She and I, okay, so let me bring you up to speed. So she and I were sitting down one day. I think it was Rehoboth.
Rehoboth Beach.
It was Rehoboth, right? Yeah. We were
Yeah.
sitting in Rehoboth, and we were tucked away because we were trying to stay safe and trying to do what was right. We were sitting in this room and we were talking about, okay, I want to go in, but I'm scared. But I also don't want to sit in here like Jabba the Hutt, like
right.
We were like, do we go out? Do we sit here? Do we stay? But we were talking about, how the world changed when it stopped. And I know for me, I panicked. I freaked out. I really freaked out because, Mesa, we were working and life was good, or at least what we thought was good. And, we were looking forward to the next gig. And then all of a sudden, sit down, do nothing. You know,
nothing.
basically, because that was what it
Yeah,
felt like.
that
Was
was
what
the
it felt like.
wildest. That was the wildest time. You know, it's this. It was so scary. I mean, so first of all, one of my best friends, Wanda, we went out. I think the first day we stayed in, and she's like, "I can't stay in the house," and I'm like, "I know I can't either." So we put our masks on and our gloves on, and took a ride out to Hanover, Pennsylvania, to this Walmart, like we wanted to go to. So we rode out there. It took about an hour and a half. And we just looked at the countryside and just kind of just had to. It was hardly nobody out. It was amazing. They had to go to the store and you had to stand in those little dots and wait. You had to be in, 6 feet away from each other and all that kind of stuff. It's like, it seemed like a long time ago, but it wasn't a long time ago. But it's just so funny how that life, I thought that was going to be for a long, long time. And I'm so glad it's over because it was rough. It was
I
really
agree
rough.
with that. There was so much though that we were trying to get right and trying to do right. They had the dot. Now I remember being in a store, in the supermarket, and they had the dots. There was 6 feet. I was 6 feet from the person in front of me, but I was right next to the person beside me. Because I know we were all trying to get it right, but I was standing there thinking something just doesn't feel right about this.
I know. Just like a friend of mine, we were talking about earlier how you wear your mask to a restaurant and you order
And then,
your food in the mask and you take it off for the whole time you're eating. It's like, what's the point?
I know, I know.
It was so crazy.
Oh,
We didn't know what
it
to do. We didn't
is.
know what was coming and going. We didn't know all these conspiracy theories and all this.
Mhm.
It was too much information. It was a lot.
It still is. Oh, it
It
still
still
is a
is.
lot. I mean, but this is the
Yeah.
world in which we live.
Yeah.
Family, I'm going to take a moment and go to the phones. I believe one of our family members is joining us on the phone. Ron, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. If I got any closer, we'll be Siamese twins. But let me say this. Let me say this to you and the lady. I am love. I am so much love. I'm easy love. At 80 years of age, and I want to say to y'all, and I want to say to both of y'all, the songs that y'all have, each singer brings its own talent, each sound and each talent. And I say this because it is so important, and I'm glad, ma'am, that you are doing that karaoke where you go and people sing. It's nothing new under the sun. Way back in the day, right? Way back in the day, people was doing that. They would get on the corners and they would do that. They called it harmonizing and things like that. Continue to sing because whatever's happening in your life, it is actually telling a story what's happening in your life with a lot of the songs. And there are healing in songs. I remember Patty and them when they was very young, very, very young, before they used to come to the uptown. Patty and them, and she would sing Somewhere Over the Rainbow. She would sing that and all those. And I'm using her as an example. And I want both of y'all to continue to sing. And I always say that. I say this I had a chance after Ramadan, I had a chance to dine with some people at a restaurant. And because I have personality and talent, I got up and spoke with them. And I was saying to them, Cal, and they always say all praise is due to Allah. And I said to them that those of us that come out of the Catholic or the Baptist church, we always would sing, when praises go up, blessings come down. Continue to send praises up to both of y'all in your song, in your behavior, your teaching, or whatever you're doing, ma'am, because there's healing in songs and prayer. And I hope both of you ladies in your life, that experience as you lie down at night. And I say this is not, I'm not being melodramatic with this comment I'm about to make. And I want both of you ladies, when you go down after you come in from your tour or whatever you're doing, I want you to cleanse yourself and lie in your bed. And when you take in before it, and that cleansing is very important. And I hope that the Almighty God, as you lay there getting your rest, that the Almighty God make both of y'all go back into a fetus mold from which you have come. And there's something about that fetus mold was so powerful. So I say all these things because I am a lover. I'm a lover of life. And ma'am, and what have made Mr. Ryan who I am today? It's kind people. I don't flirt, I don't do none of that nonsense. And it's people that I hear and say nice things about other people. They have me for a friend for the rest of their life. Yeah. There was one situation not too long ago The person because they was nice to me, no flirtation and none of that. And I went into the church. I went because my soul glass was half empty. And I went into the church and I told the Almighty God, I make a total commitment to help that person in their life if I'm living in this world. Mm-hmm. I heard that person wasn't feeling well. And I went to look for that person. Listen to what I'm about to tell you, ma'am. I went to look for that person. And I wanted to say to her family, where's that person? And I wanted that person to feel my healing power. I'm energy. I'm life. I have healing power. So I just want to say that my cup, thank you for being nice to me. The Bible said when he told Abraham, I'll be nice to those who's nice to you. I'm not saying I'm like Abraham. So let me cut this off by saying this, ma'am, to both of y'all. Linda Page. That voice that Linda Page had, who is it that come closer to Linda Page that y'all know that sings? Are you familiar?
No, Ron. I'm drawing a blank.
Think about the lady, the white girl used to sing with her. What's her name? Well, I get excited. I start babbling a little bit.
It's all right.
And she sounds just like Linda Page. Because Brenda Payton and I knew them when they was young people, but that Linda Page had a voice that high voice she had, Carol, was so wonderful. Tina Marie.
Oh, Tina.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tina Marie, she mimicked Linda Page. And that's why I say, Carol, and both of y'all, that's when your gift to the world is song, but your education that you have to go with that song. And I think I had mentioned this one time. What happened when the curtains comes down? Mm-hmm. It was on the program one night. This lady had a coma. She went into a coma. And because of the love people that she knew from South Philly was there and she came back. And she came back and she was singing. And now she's back touring again. Mm-hmm. And I just thank those people that surrounded her. She could hear the people talk, but they couldn't hear her respond. That's that love energy. And when you have that, hope that both of y'all are blessed with someone to care for you. Caring is more powerful than the word love. But caring means sacrifice. Thank you for letting me vent. And I'll be forever grateful for those who have been nice to Mr. Ryan. Thank you.
Thank you.
We can't thank you enough, Ron, for your comments, for the love that you share with us, and for you just always joining the discussion. It is so greatly appreciated. I want to say hi to Lily, who is also joining us on our socials. She wants me to let you know, Maysa, that she still plays your CD All My Life. It's in heavy rotation.
That's so cool. Thank you.
I want to go back to the phone. I believe we have another family member joining us. Are you still there? I'm not sure if
yes, Friendly Fred.
Hi, Friendly Fred. How are you?
That's my nickname, but they seem to like that better.
I like that, Friendly Fred.
Yes, thank you. I just want to say the Creator personally named each star and constellation and placed them in the sky to tell us the story of His plan for mankind. Our loving God knew that although He would give us choices, we would not always make the good ones. Mm-hmm. And I viewed the galaxy as stars, and so many came before as bright as stars to show us what was light and to show us who we are. And I think about the good times, the things we used to do, and the places we used to go, and everything was so mellow. Mm-hmm. And true love we shared, and we used to care for one another. So don't stop caring for one another, because it's visions of love or what will be, because there's always someone who cares. And my story is our love story, and it's the morning glory story.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Friendly Fred, thank you as well for joining the conversation. Family, if you have just joined us, you're tuned in to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. That's WURD radio.com. We are talking with our family members who are calling in. Some of our family members are joining the discussion from our socials. And if you'd like to be a participant, you too can do the same thing. You can send us a message on Facebook, or you can call us at 215-634-8065, or you can call us toll free at 1-866-361-0900. We are talking about love, life. Y'all know what we do here on Love and Life. And before we started before we started the discussion, or I should say, joining the discussion with some of our family members, we were talking about the pandemic when everything hit, when the world shut down. We went back to that. We went back all the way back then. We were talking about when the world shut down and how we panicked. Because quite honestly, as artists and creatives, we were the first ones to have to sit down.
Right.
We were the first ones.
Right.
And I think we were the first ones to come back out into the world, quite honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. We got up there straight away, and we had all those concerts. Everybody wore masks. They had separated everybody, and they had smaller audiences and all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, and having to be on top of all of your PPE, as they call it.
Oh yeah, all your equipment. Yeah, it was a lot.
Let me tell you something. So I carry my mic, but I never. Well, wait, it's so funny because when you go to a venue, you like we do. We used to, we go to our dressing room or what have you. We go do our sound check. Like you're not usually carrying around.
Right.
Here in the pandemic, I was carrying around my mic. I had 3 of them just in case, the room needed a certain one. I know all of this stuff. Like I think about it now, but then I was like, no, I gotta have my mics. I gotta have my wipes. I gotta have my this and my that
it was scary. That's how a lot of people left this world, because they were sharing a microphone. I mean, that's scary. We do that. I mean, all of them. We have engineers that go all in a microphone.
And then they toss it in heaven only knows where. We don't know where the microphones have been. We don't know any of that. Right?
No, my background singer Angela. She's been way before the pandemic. She's carried wipes. She doesn't play. She carries the wipes and she wipes the mic down. I was like, "Can you come wipe my please?" Like some of these engineers, they were like really just going over the top. I think
you know what? I'm grateful for it though. I can't complain. But I'll tell you one thing. I was talking about this the other day. I didn't want the vaccine. I didn't want it at all. I didn't want any part of a vaccine.
Yeah.
We had a guest on the other day from the medical field, and she was talking about the different vaccines that are out, and how we needed to get everybody vaccinated, and I was saying, okay, in the beginning when y'all started talking about vaccine, I did not want it at all, but then
nobody's getting it.
Then here you go. It's like, okay, well then you can't work.
Right.
Wait, what?
You're right.
What?
That was the scariest part. Like, can't go anywhere, can't do anything. I was like, I just have to. I don't know what that decision of not being able to work was probably 90% of it. I had to say that really might change in my mind, because I don't do anything else. This is it.
We talked about that too, talking about the different things that we do, or that it was funny because Will said the same thing. Will said, well, I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
Right.
Will, talking about Will Downing, we were having the conversation too, and he said, well, I don't know what else I'm supposed to do, because this is it.
This is it. There's no other thing. I don't know anything else. After 32 years in the industry, I have no idea what else. I tried to get a job at Home Depot, and the lady saw my name and ripped up the application and said, "Oh no, girl, you'll be all right. I got all your albums. You'll be fine."
I'm glad she did. Look,
and that's so funny. I got to deal with Shawnee Entertainment probably like 7 days later, and it's just amazing how she really believed in me. That just said that somebody, a stranger, just believing in me, just really set off a great energy.
I'll tell you the one thing too. Well, I'm going to say thank you to her. Thank you to her. Okay, because we We don't want MAYSA at Home Depot. Not, and I'm family. I don't want anybody to misunderstand what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I'm not
right.
saying any of us are above anything.
No,
I'm not
no.
saying that's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is that I love this woman and I love her voice. And I need to hear her. I need to hear her, and I want her to be able to move freely in this world and to make, continue to make the beautiful music that she makes.
Yeah.
So we are going to go to break in a minute, but when we come back, I want to hear all about the beginning when you were singing with Incognito, like how that came about. All
Okay.
all I know is that MAYSA was with Incognito. I don't know how it came about. I want to hear how that happened, how it
Okay.
all started. So family, stay with us, okay? Because we're going to take a short break, but we will be right back.
Thank you.
Finally, it's time for a new mayor. The election is May 16th, but this time we don't have to wait. We can vote early. I'm Pastor Marshall Mitchell of Salem Baptist Church, and I'm voting for Jeff Brown. The reason I'm talking to you today is to let you know that you can get a ballot early and really make your vote count. Jeff Brown's my choice because he's committed to helping people in a way one rarely sees. I've seen how he's gone into the tough places, opened supermarkets, helped people, fed communities, and worked with people so that they could develop their own careers and professions.
Jeff has supported me from the moment that I met him.
He's been a pillar in our community for years. He wants to see the change. No one in City Hall even comes close.
Jeff Brown is the only candidate who can run this city the right way for the neighborhoods and people, not just folks downtown. Join me and cast your ballot as soon as you can.
Paid for by Jeff Brown for mayor.
In Philadelphia, everyone is reading the One Book, One Philadelphia featured selection, Interior Chinatown by Charles Yu, a touching, funny book about how cultural representation, family histories, and class shape us. Youth companion books include American-Born Chinese by Jean Lumen Yang and Drawn Together by Min Lei and Dan Santat. One Book features 9 weeks of programming through June 22nd, sponsored by Pico. Visit freelibrary.org/onebook for the full calendar of events.
We know the world is crazy. There's a never-ending stream of negativity constantly flowing by our ears. We need daily reminders that joy is essential. WURD Radio offsets the awful with daily words of joy and empowerment. These are on-air messages meant to uplift our spirit. We invite you, the WURD listener, to share your words of joy and empowerment with us. You can read a brief poem, share a favorite inspirational quote, an empowering story, or a passage from a book. Just call 215-425-7875, extension 107, and leave your words of joy and empowerment on the voicemail. Please make sure your message is 1 minute or less. It will be helpful to use a timer to stay on track. We look forward to broadcasting your words of joy and empowerment. We are WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
What is love?
You're listening to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
I think I know what love is.
Family, hey there, welcome back. You're tuned in to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. That's WURD radio.com. We are joined by none other than our beautiful sister in song, MAYSA, and we're talking about, love, life, and everything in between. If you've just joined us, join the conversation. Call us and say hi. I mean, you can do that. You can reach out to us on Facebook if you like, or you can dial 215-634-8065, or you can call us toll free at 1-866-361-0900. So before the break, I was asking MAYSA about the start of it all as I know it. Okay, as I know it, because you might say, "Well, no, it started before that." But so the start of it all for me is knowing about you with Incognito.
Mhm.
How did that even come about? How did you meet them or meet with them, or how did that
Well, I was out in California singing background with Stevie Wonder at the time. I just left Morgan State University. Stevie was working on the Jungle Fever project with Spike Lee soundtrack, and I was blessed to pass an audition and sing these three words and a few other songs on that soundtrack.
MAYSA?
Sing background, I sure did. Yeah.
So you know what? As long as I've known you, all I knew about Morgan State, the choir, I had no idea. So
Oh
you were
yeah.
see what I'm saying?
Oh, and
So you sang background on these three words?
and a couple other songs, especially a song called "I Go Sailing." I got a little solo at the end of the song "I Go Sailing" too. So it's kind of it's I love that soundtrack. Oh my gosh, that's why I recorded on my latest album. I recorded "Make Sure You're Sure," re-recorded "Make Sure You're Sure."
Mm,
Yeah.
So you were singing. Okay, so you were singing. I'm so mad that I didn't know that. Now see, watch me go back and listen to everything. It's going to be a MAYSA night. Okay, that's what's going to be for me. It's going to be a MAYSA night. So you were singing. You sang background these three words, and you how did the connection? How was the connection made between?
Well, I was one of Stevie's background singers, Bridget Bryant, turned me on to a producer named Stephen Harvey, from a drummer from Scotland. She said, "Macy's working on some jazz stuff, and I think your voice is more suited for it." So she put my name forward, and he called me, and I went started working with him, doing some demos. And one day he called me and said, "Mason, my best friend in London, Bluey, is looking for a new singer for his band." Sorry, honey. And he said, "Would you be interested in coming, auditioning for him?" And so I said, "Okay, that sounds good." And one day I was, Stevie had gone on to do a Brazilian tour, and I was the youngest, newest person, so I didn't get to go on that tour. And so I went to work, and I got some jobs teaching and all this kind of stuff. And I was at work one day, and I went home sick, and I answered the phone when I got home, and it was Bluey. We had a long conversation about music and life and, my background and all that kind of stuff. And he asked me to sing "Don't You Worry About a Thing," so I did. And then he said, "Can you sing it again? Change the key this time." And I did. And he said, "Okay, my manager's going to call you in the next few days and let you know when your audition is. We'll bring you to London." I said, "Okay, great." And I was like, "I'm going to get a feature to London. That'll be cool." And so the next morning, his manager called me and said, "I don't know what you sang to Bluey, but you got the gig. We're not going to call anybody else." And so they flew me 2 weeks later, flew me to London. I lived there for 4.5 years and recorded Tribes, Vibes, and Scribes and Positivity album with them. It has Deep Waters and Still a Friend of Mine on it. And that's how it all began. I toured with them for quite a long time, and I met my son's father, the man that Deep Waters is about. I met him during that time too. I know, drama.
Okay.
And but it wasn't my fault. He's gorgeous. And so, it was that way
They get
life
us.
was. Yeah. It was a very dramatic and uh Hollywood, true Hollywood story relationship. And the whole band watched us go in and out of breaking up, making up. And so Bluey's like, "I gotta write this. I wrote a song for you." And and that's how Deep Waters came about.
That's probably why it resonates so deeply. I mean, with
Mhm.
all of us, seriously, because that song touches me, touches me deeply.
Oh.
There must be something in there with which I can identify from my own
Yes.
personal life.
Oh
And
yeah.
from the moment I heard it, from
Most
the
of us
first
have.
time. Say
Yeah.
that. Would you say?
At least most people can, because we've all, if we get to a certain age, you're all going to go through this kind of heartbreak. It's sad, but we don't always, we're not all blessed to choose the right person for us at the right time. And so we kind of have to go through this, finding that or waiting for, going through it to see if we can get the right person in our lives. And it's just a lot.
Listen, and that's a
Mhm.
whole episode right there. Being a
Uh-huh.
female in the industry and
Mhm.
navigating a relationship, that
Mhm.
right there is
Yeah.
a whole episode in
It
and of
is. It really
itself.
is. It's very difficult. And I was on the road with him, and so it was during the day he was, very focused on me, and then after those shows, the groupies were out in tremendous
Mhm.
numbers, and they
Mhm.
would
Oh
just
yeah.
be all over him, Even to the point of calling my room, asking for them.
They don't care. They're
They don't
relentless.
care. There they are.
No, but it amazes me that the human condition. It really does. It has always amazed me. You know, the lengths that people will go to.
Mm-hmm.
And it's such a shame. It's terrible because I'd like to believe as good and grown women that we know better, because they say when you know better, you do better. That's what they tell me.
That's
But
what they say, yeah.
That's what they say. But I know they know better, but they
Right.
don't do better. They don't do better.
No, they want what they want. And
I know.
he was somebody to want, I can tell you. They probably still is. I think he is. But it's just somebody who is, it is what it is. They, people, Incognito was so popular. It was like, we were like little rock stars back then. It was wild. I had to have a bodyguard in Japan and all that kind of stuff. It was crazy for a minute. I enjoyed it, but it's also a little bit scary. But it was fun.
Well, I'm sure I'm sure you had a lot of stalkers and a lot of people looking for you too. A lot of men calling for you too. I don't doubt that. I
stayed to myself. I was afraid of all of that. And I saw him as my protector, because he did that. He was like he blocked a lot of people, and also I thought it was protection for myself, and he was it was interesting. It was difficult for me to talk to men on the road. It was just non-existent.
You know what, MAYSA? I still find that difficult. I don't. Well, because you don't know who you're meeting.
Right.
And I say that, and I don't, and family, let me explain. You don't know if this is the representative, and you don't know what level of representative it is that you're meeting.
Right.
And and here we are when we're out and we're working, we're on stage, we come off stage, and we're still in our ministry.
Right.
We're still there in our ministry, and then you meet people and you don't know whether they're a predator, you don't know whether they're genuine, you don't have a clue.
Right.
You don't know,
right. Until it's too late sometimes.
Until it is too late, until you are drowning in deep waters. That's when you find out, and you're like, huh? Like, are you kidding me?
Right.
And y'all know, family, y'all know I talk about my own life. You know how transparent I am. So you already know, I've been there. I have been there myself. Family, I want to say hello to our family members who are joining us from our socials. Simple Life. Hey there. Hey there, beautiful. Joanne Dormond says hello. Good evening. Carol, Word family, guests and listeners. Kenneth is singing to you. Okay, Kenneth writes, there's a river in my dream floating endlessly to you.
There's a river in my dream. Yeah. Flowing endlessly to you. Ooh. That's what the first thing I sang when I sang it.
Do you hear that?
I was a kid when I recorded it. I was 24 years old. Wow.
Oh my goodness. Oh Lord, Alpha Moore says, hey MAYSA. Rose Denise Edwards says, hey MAYSA. So all the family members are joining, saying, hey, girl, listen, now I love it when you sing. I could have MAYSA. Listen.
I love it when you sing, Carol. Look, somebody trying to get me to sing the duet. And I'm like, can y'all call Carol? I can't sing that high. What you know for?
Yeah, listen, y'all. Don't y'all listen to her. Don't y'all know?
It's the truth. Your range is incredible and pristine and just gorgeous and just all of it. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I sang that duet one time with Will, and I was like, I'll never do it again. It was so hard. I'm like, no. It's too high. I can't sing it high.
No. But you make
it real grand. I'm too old to sing them high notes.
Listen, don't you too old? You hear me? Don't you do it? Don't you do it? Because we don't do that here. We are seasoned. We are mature. That's what we are. But we are not old. You hear me? That's what we are not old. But I say, but to going back to talking about, people always ask me because they like to know whether I'm single, whether I'm dating, whatever. Listen, I am loving life. That's what I'm doing. It's about me and Chloe right now, because I've had my heart broken too many times. I'm not saying that I'm not open to love. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is that I've had enough of the alternative.
Right.
I've had enough. I've had enough of of everything else,
And we're too young for that, honey. That's the sad part.
I know.
We're too young to feel that way. Not just I just focus on my career, focus on my son and the other kids in my family. They're my godchildren. I got all my nieces and nephews. Everybody's my godchildren. So I mean, I focus on them, and then I just focus on my career, trying to get healthier. It's like that's all I can think about. Because when I put my heart out there and I allow somebody to come in, it's scary.
It is so scary.
Because I tend to, I don't know.
I love hard.
Fantasize people.
Oh, MAYSA.
I'd make them this super fantasy, and instead of seeing the red flags and all that stuff, try to ignore it. And that's not good.
That sounds like a song that we both need to write, because let me tell you, I've said this. I see people for who I want them to be and not for who they are.
Yes, there you go.
I see the relationship the same way. Whatever my involvement is with this man, I see the relationship for what I want it to be and not for what it is. That is my flaw.
Yeah.
That is my flaw. I will explain it away. Listen, I will make sense of something that makes absolutely no sense. So to protect myself, okay, that's what I do. I take everybody's babies. I am Auntie Carol. Okay. I have everybody's babies and everybody's fur babies. That's what I do now. That's where my time is going. Because when I tell you, and it's always the ones that mean me all the harm that I seem to gravitate to. I was like, where are the good men? What am I doing with him? What am I doing? Why? And you know what? Because he's like a shiny little coin. That's the one. Yeah, the ones that the shiny coin. And I know better. Yeah. I'm gonna go find me a wooden nickel. That's what I'm gonna go find. I might get more out of the wooden nickel. Listen, family. If you've just joined us, you're tuned in to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. MAYSA and I are talking about our lives, sharing all our little good business. Stay with us, though, because we're going to take a break, but we'll be right back.
For more than a decade, Comcast has been committed to bridging the digital divide in Philadelphia and across the country. From connecting people to the internet to opening doors for the next generation of innovators, entrepreneurs, and storytellers, they are helping to create a future that benefits generations to come. Now, Comcast is expanding their efforts through Project Up, their comprehensive initiative to help build a future of unlimited possibilities. Backed by a $1 billion commitment to reach tens of millions of people over the next decade, Comcast is working to ensure all Philadelphians have the skills, resources, and opportunities they need to participate and excel in an increasingly digital world. This includes partnering with community experts to build a network of digital navigators, trusted individuals who help build awareness around initiatives like the government's Affordable Connectivity Program and teach critical digital skills to get more people online. Project Up, building a future of unlimited possibilities. Learn more at comcast.com/Project Up.
Through Project Up, Comcast is committing $1 billion to build a future of unlimited possibilities.
Need a minute? Take a breath and breathe in positivity. Here are words of joy and empowerment from WURD Radio.
This is Valerie Harrison, Vice President for Public Affairs at Temple University. The power, purpose, and possibility of Black women are clear. While we can be very different, we share the authenticity of Maya Angelou, the community-mindedness of Ella Baker, the courage of Harriet Tubman, and the elegance and grace of Coretta Scott King. We bring our whole selves to every experience. Remember who you are. You are a light in darkness. You are the best of what it means to be human. I'm Valerie Harrison.
This joy and empowerment vignette was brought to you by Comcast.
Self-monitor your blood pressure in 4 easy-to-remember steps. Self-monitoring is power. Visit managerbp.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council, the American Heart Association, and the American Medical Association, in partnership with the Office of Minority Health and Health Resources and Services Administration.
Here's what you missed on Wake Up with WURD.
Joining us now is attorney Damon Tyner. He's a former Atlantic County prosecutor. We're talking about the case of an 85-year-old white man who shot a black teen when that teen came to the man's front door in Kansas City, Missouri last week. The team was looking for his twin brothers. The young man was 16 years old. His name is Ralph Yarl, and he is now recovering at home. So he got charged with assault. He didn't get charged with attempted murder?
I don't know what went into the decision-making in this case to not charge attempted murder. I would suspect that maybe the district attorney out there didn't feel that he had the intent. From the little bits of pieces that have come out, they've said that, he thought someone someone was trying to break into his home. He was afraid. But then you start hearing other stories and other things that as you unpeel that onion, he actually had eyes on him and saw who it was and directly and intentionally fired a shot. 2 shots at this young man. Not only did he hit him in his head, he stood over him apparently and fired a shot into his abdomen.
Tune in to Wake Up with Word with Solomon Jones every Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. only on WURD. Progressive Black Talk Media. Celebrating 20 years of progressive Black Talk Media. We're bringing joy and power to the people. This is WURD 900 AM and 96.1 FM, Philadelphia. Streaming online at WURDradio.com and the WURD Radio app.
This is your celebration.
Congratulations to WURD Radio from David Barnes, host of the New Worldview Radio Show, heard live worldwide Sunday evenings 8 until 11 p.m. with our Afrobeat After Party 10 until 11 p.m. Tune into our weekly star-studded lineup of co-hosts Dr. Umar Johnson, Michael A. Griffin, Yanina Carter, Patrick Ajadu, Malele Sullivan, and Isaac Mayfield. New Worldview Radio has been on air for 20 years long and still going strong, and we thank and congratulate WURD Radio on their 20th anniversary. Stay connected.
We're celebrating 20 years of progressive Black Talk Media. You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Hey there, family. Welcome back. You're tuned in to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. You know I'm going to say it because I like to say it. That's WURDradio.com. We are joined by none other than my sister in song, MAYSA. And we were just talking about life just before we went to commercial break. I was talking about, how unlucky in love I am and have been, and how I always choose the wrong person. I said, what? It's you know what? You'll have the attention of 10 men, and it'll be that one that you should avoid at all costs, and he will be the one that I okay. I can't see anybody else because I'll see him. But in any event, I want to go back to our socials and say hello again to our family members who are joining us on our socials. Van Harris wants you to know that is the best song ever. Okay, that you said. Van says that's the best song ever.
Oh, thank you.
I thank you. That's what.
Lord, I thank you. It's on my new album, Music for Your Soul. It's my God tribute that I do. I try to do a God tribute every album, but especially this one. I have 2 actually. One song by Frank McComb called His Love. It was written about a man, but it's also, I think it should be about God. So I'm going to, live, I'm going to change the lyrics a little bit to make sure everybody understands that.
Oh, I love that. And I love Frankie. Oh my goodness. I love Frankie. He calls me Minnie Mouse. I don't know. He's always called me Minnie Mouse. Minnie Mouse. Minnie Mouse. But I mean, how can you not love Frank? Frank is he's such an uberly talented individual.
Yep. Oh yeah. I mean,
he always was since he was a kid.
For decades, he's been always top. He's such a hardworking man.
Isn't he? He really is. He really is. Oh my goodness. Oh, he is. I'm just thinking about it. Just all these years that I've known Frank, since he was a teenager, he's been. I mean, his work ethic is unmatched. It really is unmatched, and he's been the same since then. So I want to ask you this. So you were talking about when you had your son. What was that like navigating motherhood and being an artist or being on the road? What was that like?
For the most part, it was just difficult. And I had so many stages of it, but my mom was alive for the first 12 years of my son's life. So she was his, angel, and she helped me raise him a lot. And so, but, from the beginning of having my son in Japan, I was He was born at 25 weeks. So he was very premature. And so from that whole time to, I only missed 1 week of shows on Incognito during that whole time. That's the only time, actually, if I've ever missed a show in 32 years was when I missed those shows. And of course, I just giving birth to him. So other than that, just from, it was so difficult to leave my son and go to work. It was just like torture. And I got in trouble with the truant officer here in Baltimore County. I did, because I took Jazz with me. I took his work with me. I did get his work from his teachers, but, of course, being on the road, never have time, to really do everything. So he didn't. He was starting to have trouble in school, and so I had to stop and stop taking him everywhere. But he would come to me, when I'm packing, and it's like, "Mommy, can I please go with you?" And I'm like, what am I supposed to say? I like, of course.
Yeah.
I would just pack his clothes with mine. It would just be simple, and it was just easy for me to do, just take him with me. And I just felt so happy when he was with me because I didn't worry about anything else at all. When my child was with me on the road, I didn't have to worry about anything. But then at home, I have to, he's at home, I had to, I would call my mom and, when she passed, it was really difficult because I had to depend on a lot of people to, watch over him as if she would or I would. And luckily I did have some of my cousins and stuff help. It did help a lot, but I wanted to be home with him. And so, taking those long trips, like, for instance, I'm going on a 3-week cruise with Dave Cosby. He's a grown man now, and my son is 23. I still feel like I want to, I wanted him to go with me, and he is. So I'm so excited. So he's going with me on this trip, and then, so I kind of have to worry. It's like a peace of mind that I'm going to have knowing that he's with me the whole time. He's a young Black man, and he's driving, and it's just a myriad of just things that you just scare you have to pray for. And this dog is trying to get back in the house now.
Listen, your poor baby.
I gotta let the dog in.
Let the baby in. You put the baby out, family. Y'all know how we are with our fur children. And Chloe is right here. She's taking a nap right now, but she is right here. Now, I love the fur babies, so I would be sitting there holding him for you. I would, if he sit with me, I would be sitting. I would hold him. But I ask that because, I don't have any biological children. Everybody else's baby is mine. But I always wanted children. I always wanted children of my own. But I wanted I guess you could say conventional or traditional family. I wanted my husband and I wanted my kids and with us, typically what we want.
Yeah.
And it just wasn't in the cards for me. Yes. So I was curious to know, being a mother and being on the road and having to navigate how you navigate. You're traveling and you got your little one, you got the baby with you. I was just curious to know. And then thinking about just the reality of it all. When after a mother gives birth, they say it's typical for a lot of mothers or most mothers to have like some form of postpartum.
Yeah,
like
I did.
How did you navigate that on the road?
It was difficult. The first, my tour manager Troy and my the music director Wayne Bruce, they teased me about this the first gig I had a very important New Year's Eve show when we was turning into 2020. So 2000. We were turning into 2000. And so that was a big deal, the whole thing about 99 going to 2000. It was a whole big thing. And I had rehearsals, and they said I went to rehearsal, and I never go out looking crazy. So when I came to rehearsal looking crazy, they knew something was going on, and I just cried the whole time. I couldn't sing. I kept saying I want my baby because I had to leave my son in Japan, and for the first 2.5 months because he was only 2 pounds when he was born, so I had to leave him in Japan and wait for him to gain 3 more pounds. And then I was able to put him on an airplane, but before then we couldn't go on the airplane. So I had to come home because I couldn't afford to stay in Japan the whole time, 2.5 months. And the whole time I was here, I just, I don't know, it's just love of my mom and my family that kept me from going insane for real, because they, you know, they just, I don't know, they just held me up because it was difficult. I called the hospital every day, and you know, it was, my phone bill was insane. But I needed that. I needed to talk to them. I needed to, you know, talk to Jazz. They would put the phone up to him and let me talk to him. You know, it's like, it was just a lot. And so those days were difficult and beautiful at the same time. It's just that, you know, the depression and doing those shows, I mean, especially that when it was difficult, I was able to get through it. But I never, that sadness was just with me the whole time. And it was hard to celebrate, you know, anything at that point. I just wanted to see my son, and I just, you know, my first baby. It was just weird to him to be separated from him.
You know, I did not know that. I cannot imagine, because I'm sure you had to have felt a tremendous like deficit, a lot, like there was, because there was a part
I
of you
felt
that
guilt. It was guilt. It was. I was afraid. You know, before I left, you know, I talked to the embassy, went to the embassy, and talked to the, you know, the man that ran the embassy, and he was like, you know, I was like, are there going to be any wars over here? Like, y'all, make sure there's no wars over here. And he was like, ma'am, there's no wars, no South Japan coming up, so you'll be okay. And he's like, you know, it's like he's going to be the best watched baby in the hospital, because the fact that he's a little black baby in Japan by himself. You know, I had to sign a lot of paperwork to make sure they knew I wasn't abandoning my son. I had to. It was a lot to do to get his passport made, to make sure that I was coming back to get him. It was a whole process that I'm writing a book about it all. But it's like it was just an amazing experience, and I'll never forget it. That's why that song "Out of the Blue," that's where it came from.
My Lord, my Lord. When look at him now. You said 23 now.
23, yeah.
I remember when you told me he was getting his apartment.
Oh my God, I was so upset last year. He was like, "Mom, I think it's time for me to get in the park." I was like, "Huh? Why you be upstairs? It's fine. Like, you have your own room and your own bathroom. Like, why are you leaving?" And I was like, "I know my son wants to be independent." And you know, I had just started a relationship. I had that first one talking about that. I started a relationship. I think he was trying to get out of the way of that. I think he was trying to do things. My son is very, very sweet to me, very generous with me, and I think he wanted to make sure that, you know, he wanted to make sure that happened, and that didn't happen. So now he can come back home.
Oh, listen to this. He was being he was being your protector. He was getting out of mom's way. I love that, though. I love the relationship that the two of you have, and you know, to think of it, to just thinking about it, just what you just said just a moment ago. You said what was said to you is that, listen, this is going to be the most protected little baby, little black boy by himself in Japan.
Right. In Japan.
I mean, first of all, just the magnitude of that, because I can only imagine like what's innate because of that.
Yeah.
Because even, you know, there's an awareness, you know, even at that age, there's an awareness. He knew first, he knew he was loved. He knew his mommy loved him, but he also knew, you know what, okay, I'm not here right now, but it's okay. It's okay.
Right. I made a recording for him too. I asked him to play the recording every day, and I just talked to him. I sang to him on this little. I had a little, what those little teeny tapes that we used to have? Yeah, I forgot they call.
Oh, that.
Yeah, look, it wasn't that. It was a like micro cassette. It's a little teeny thing. And so I had a cassette player. I used to, you know, do voice memos, you know, do vocal things on it. But I just left that whole thing where I say, "Mommy's coming back. Everything's okay. You get big and strong. You drink your milk. You do this. You do that." And I was like, you know, I have to please play this for him every day. And I used to call over there. I had a prayer closet, and I used to call over there, go in my prayer closet and call. And I say, "Can you please put, you know, let me Jazz hear my voice?" And they would do that. And then they called one day and say, "You know, you can't come get Jazz yet because he's not drinking his milk." And I went, because, you know, the Japanese mothers donated breast milk for him. So, and that was, because I wasn't there and I had to leave. So, and that's, they were determined that he had to have breast milk. That's what they do over there. So I was like, okay. So I went in the closet and I was like, "Jazz, if you don't drink that milk, Mommy's gonna spank you. So you can drink the milk." And the next day I called. So Jazz drank milk very well today. So I kind of developed this connection with him, and this kind of through God, you know, just talking to him and speaking to him and saying, "I'm sorry, Mommy's not there, but I'm coming back to get you very soon. Just drink your milk and Mommy come get you very soon." And the day I went back, Carol, oh my God, I can almost tear up just thinking about the day I went back to pick up my son. That was the most amazing feeling that I've ever felt in my whole life.
I know.
And it's just to go there and see that. I went to the hospital. I got to the hotel and I just didn't want. I just threw my bags in the room and just closed the door and came back, ran downstairs, got back in the cab, and just went to the hospital. And they were telling me I had to go through this whole process of. It was a whole day of mommy training. Like they don't do that here. It was a whole day. So the whole day consisted of me learning how to feed him, how to change him, how to burp him, what his stool should look like, what's normal, what's not normal. They gave me a huge basket of gifts. It was just, I mean, I've never seen a hospital do this. I don't know what hospitals do now, but it was clothes in the basket. It was diapers. It was bottles. It was formula. It was it was everything. I mean, blankets. It was socks. It was just everything you need. Yep. And that was a normal hospital gift that they give you.
Oh, this wasn't.
No, it wasn't. It was a normal thing that they give away to new moms.
I thought this was because you had an extenuating circumstance.
Right.
Wow, that's a huge. We need that.
I think that's the thing we lack in this country. It's the attention to detail about everything. You know, it's like
compassion.
That's what it is. Yeah, that's it. And
we lack compassion in the United States. We definitely lack compassion. On that note, I want to recognize some of our family members who are in the room. Lori Johnson Malveaux. She says it is great to see you in this forum. She says she's been a fan of yours since the Tribes, Vibes, and Scribes album. She's been a fan. She says good evening. Cheryl Creek says hi to her favorite jazz artist, MAYSA. And Joey Dixon is joining us as usual. Hi, Joey, one of our regular family members. He says peace. WURD family, one love, and jazz too. Joey always stops by to say hi to us. We love the love that you all share. MAYSA, I'm sitting here, my whole mind is reeling from so I didn't know any of the particulars as it pertains to your son. Now now I get it on a whole nother level. When you were telling, because I remember when you were telling me he was going to get his own apartment, and I remember how you were processing that. Now I get it on a whole nother level. Okay.
I was it's on stage with Incognito in Osaka, and my water broke while I was on stage. It was crazy. It was like a trinkle every day. So it was like a little bit. I said, I don't know. I feel this wetness. I don't know what that is. I know I didn't go to the bathroom myself. I was like, I don't know what this is. So after the show, I would go take a hot bath. I was in pain. I would take a hot bath and take Tylenol. I did that for 3 nights in a row. And then we were leaving to go to Tokyo on Sunday, and I came down and Blue is like, you don't look so good, baby. Let's get you to a hospital. And that's when they sent me to the hospital. And it was 45 minutes away from the hotel. And Incognito had to get on the plane to go to Tokyo to finish the last week. So I had to leave. The tour manager stayed with me for about a day or two, or a day, and then he had to leave to go deal with the band. And it was just scary. And I was like, wow, this is unbelievable. So they did examination. They said I had no fluid left at all. There was nothing left. And so they had to induce labor. And that wasn't happening. So they had to give me an emergency C-section. And that was even more scary. It was a lot. And so it was a lot of pain, a lot of just not knowing what was going to happen. I know I was going to live. They put me in this dark room. It was a dark, warm room. It had to be dark and warm so that when he came out, he would be in a warm and dark environment, which he was used to. And they had it down. So when I say that, God is amazing, because the Eisenbashi Hospital at that time was the best hospital in the world for premature babies. And see how God put me in the right place at the right time. Because I was sick my whole pregnancy. We did a world tour. I got pregnant at the beginning of the tour, during the rehearsals. To son's father. I was telling you about D. Waters, man. And so I got pregnant at rehearsals, and then discovered I was pregnant like 2 weeks into the tour, 2 or 3 weeks into the tour. And then so I was pregnant the whole time. And I was literally sick in every city I went to in the world, everywhere in the States, every city I had to stop and go to the hospital when we landed. And I would go to the hospital, go to the show, go to the hotel, next morning fly out. They land, then I go to the hospital again. It was crazy.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah.
So it was in Tokyo.
Mm-hmm.
Where
But last night, before we did my doctor gave me the okay to go to Japan because I told him it was going to be my last thing that I could earn money for before my son was born. And I said, can I just please do this? It's enough money for me to live on until he's born. So he said, okay, I'm gonna approve you to go because I just had a car accident like this. I got rear-ended the night before we were leaving. Rushed me to the hospital, but the doctor did examination. He said, you're fine. Just go. Just the last thing. Okay, you got to be on bed rest after this. So I went to Japan. We did Fukuoka. I was fine. I went baby shopping and all kinds of stuff, having a good time. And then we got to Osaka and everything it went down. And it was just within a matter of, the 3 weeks that we would be there. The second week, I was giving birth to my baby alone in the foreign country. So it was deep.
Here you were. First, you were alone with him, and then he was alone.
Then had to leave him there. Yeah.
Lord have mercy. Family, if you have just joined us, you're tuned in to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. We're talking with MAYSA. We're talking about all things life, okay? Heavens to Murgatroyd. I'm still processing everything we just talked about, but we're going to take a short break, but stay with us, okay? Because we will be right back.
Jeff Brown, as you know by now, is a grocer who used his ShopRite supermarkets to address food deserts. His stores now feed about a quarter of all Philadelphians. More, Jeff started a program to hire the formerly incarcerated. His stores employ over 500 returning citizens. Jeff's solution became a national model for combating a food crisis and poverty. During COVID, when city government shut down, Jeff Brown raised money to support over 1,100 small businesses. He kept neighborhoods alive, from barbershops to our pre-K centers. Jeff Brown gives away numerous community gifts every year, from computer centers across the city to basketball courts for the youth. On Thanksgiving, he provides thousands of turkeys to help feed families across Philadelphia. So vote. Vote early. Together we can fight back. Jeff Brown is the mayor we need to change things and make our city safe and healthy again.
Paid for by Jeff Brown for mayor.
WURD Radio is the only African-American owned and operated talk radio station in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and one of only 3 remaining in the country. In the past 20 years, WURD has evolved into a multimedia, multi-platform communications company that reaches deeply into the Black community through radio, events, digital, and social media. It is considered the go-to channel to engage, interact, and connect with Philadelphia's Black community. Our brand is built on the personal legacy of our founder, Walter P. Lomax Jr., MD. Dr. Lomax was a brilliant physician who established medical centers in underserved neighborhoods throughout Philadelphia to provide high-quality health care to Black and Brown communities for over 30 years. One of his most ambitious acquisitions was when he purchased WURD Radio. He understood the power of ownership and the power of independent media. Through WURD, he wanted to ensure that Philadelphia's Black community had the ability to speak and be heard in their own voice. We are celebrating 20 years of Black excellence. We are celebrating 20 years of progressive Black talk media.
The WURD Radio newsletter, keeping you informed, engaged, and connected. Sign up by visiting wordradio.com. Scroll to the bottom of the page and type your email address under Connect with Us. You'll receive the latest information on WURD Radio, messages from our president and CEO, Sarah Lomax Reese, exclusive articles and multimedia content, and resources. Stay informed with the WURD Radio newsletter.
Let me tell you something, and don't you ever forget it. Success is nothing without someone you love to share it with.
You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Family, hello there. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life on WURD, progressive Black talk media, on air and online at wordradio.com. Listen, we've been talking, and I know I did tell you all earlier, but I want to remind you that you can join the conversation too if you want to do so. You can do so by calling us at 215 634 8065, or you can call us toll free at 1 866 361 0900. Our family members on our socials, you've been talking with us, and we have been enjoying what you've been sharing with us. Some more of our family members on Facebook have reached out to us. Nasir says, Mesa, you are an amazingly strong sister. May God continue to bless you and your family. And Kenneth writes, all of your music is good, especially this last one, Music for Your Soul. But what album in your catalog do you feel should have done better? One you would recommend your listeners to revisit?
Wow. That's interesting. I think all of them should have done better.
Right.
Every last one of my albums should have been a lot better. I've worked really hard on these records, and I think they reached a lot of people, but I really have not. I think there's a little more wiggle room in my career that should be at a certain level. And I think any one of my records could have put me there, especially one of my favorite ones was Metamorphosis. I think one that should have been there, but all of them, in my opinion, have not received the recognition, or I guess you should say that's the best way to say it, that they should have gotten.
People ask me that oftentimes as well. It's kind of, it's a tricky question. It's kind of tricky because you know there's no way for you to gauge the industry,
Right.
and it's ever changing too. The
Yeah,
industry is
all the
ever
time.
changing. And
All the
one thing I'm curious to know from you, what would you say has been your biggest challenge in this industry, like maintaining or sustaining your career?
Just getting publicity and marketing, just getting on national television, getting national media of any kind, even local, just anything Baltimore, like my own hometown doesn't embrace, what I've done in my career so far. It's really, heartbreaking in a sense because, I've always repped my city, I was repped where I was born. And so it's just hard. It's hard for people it's hard for me to ask for anything. So, I have to find the people that are not afraid to ask. And I think that's what the issue is. And once I get that straight, I think, I can probably move the needle in my career a little bit. But that's been my biggest thing. I think my music has been marketed well. That's why I decided to own my own record label. I figured that if I can't move the needle, at least I'll own it at the least of it. One day it'll return to me in the future, and at least it'll be here for my son and my future grandkids if I have any, and just leave a legacy for my family that everything I worked for the last 32 years wasn't for nothing. It'll be still be out there. So I hope for this album, Music for Your Soul, it's my 14th solo album. It's on my own record label, Blue Velvet Soul Records. And it means the world to me. I worked very hard on a 19-song double album. In spite of what all my colleagues told me not to do, our colleagues told me not to do, the people's attention spans couldn't handle that amount of songs. And it's so not true because people our age got time. We got time to do stuff, time to drive, clean our house, go on the beach, we got time to listen to it. And, I chose 19 songs I stopped there because this felt right. It was enough for a double vinyl, and it was enough, for double CD, enough space, enough songs to fill the spaces. So this album means the world to me. And that's why I put my heart and soul in it. And it's my love letter to everybody. This is my way to love people that I've never met or people that I even met before. It's just a way to say, I love you very much. And I hope this makes you feel better. I hope this helps you through your day. I mean, that's been my theme of my music through my whole life. But this particular record, because I had full control over it. And I had, I had the blood, sweat, and tears of finding that money to make it happen, You have an interview. I had to make it happen, it's my brother. And so, that's how it is. I just had to, I did it. I did it. It's like, during the pandemic, when I was the drive I was telling you about earlier, I took with my friend Wanda, that's when I got inspired to, let's just go for it. I mean, I started my label in 2018, but in 2020, during that pandemic, is when I got the energy really to begin writing and choosing songs and calling producers and saving money and trying to find money to fly to different cities to record and whatever I had to do to make it happen, to pay for the songs. I paid for 19 songs, 20 songs to be done. It's just, I don't know how the grace of God helped me, because I don't know how I did it, because it was like every show I would say, okay, this money is going to the albums. Okay, I pay my mortgage with this, and then I'll pay the guest with this next show. And then, I was on that stuff, just throwing that back and forth. So it was interesting how to try to raise the money to get this done. And it's a beautiful process. I'm glad I made the leap. I'm glad that, very happy that God put that net under me to help me achieve what I did so far.
Well, I'm mixing apples with oranges right now, because I want to talk more about your music. But something you said when you were talking about sending, just letting your son hear your voice, it made me, I thought that was my baby. Hey, Blue. But I'm curious to know, would you consider doing like an album for children or for babies? Something.
You know what? I started a nursery album. We should work on it together. That'd be fun.
I would love
to do that. Okay, let's do that together.
Yeah, no, seriously.
Let's call Frank McComb. Let's do it all together.
oh, that's done. It's a done deal.
Okay.
Look, Chloe jumped up too. That's a done deal. Oh, MAYSA.
Yeah, I wrote a friend of mine had a baby. She was at 50 years old. She got pregnant, and so she had a son. And I wrote a song about him, and called him Little Prince, and how he's just made everybody happy and come into her life. And so that was the first nursery rhyme I wrote. So I'm gonna, I want to continue that. So now that you said that, it's a done deal.
That's what I'm feeling. I'm like, I feel that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a done deal. So so now I want to ask. What's now? First of all, we're still, because all of your music is like a full meal. That's how I see it. That's how I see it. Every bit of your music is a full meal for me. A good meal is one of those good meals, like the restaurant that you keep going back to, because you're like, oh, I know what I want. I know exactly what I want, because it just hits you in the right places. But what do you feel is what's next for you?
Wow, just promoting this record for a minute. I started a magazine. I'll show you my magazine. I started my magazine to help promote the album.
What?
Yeah, I just did it right here on my computer.
You better get it. You better get it.
And so I started a magazine, and so I'm gonna do that every few months. Put the magazine out, and just talk about my life and what's going on, and my favorite things and recipes and all that kind of stuff. And so the first episode, the first issue is about making the album and how it got started and all that stuff like that. So basically, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do just a lot of touring this summer with Dave Koz. I'm going on the Dave Koz cruise this Friday for 3 weeks in Morocco and Spain and Portugal. And then come back from that, and then I have a whole full summer. I'm doing 2 shows with Avery Sunshine, and one in Chicago and one in Atlanta. Then Incognito is coming back to town in June. And then I have a lot of shows this summer. I'm going to work at the St. Louis for my birthday. I'm on a birthday concert at the St. Louis City Winery that's just opening up.
Nice.
And doing a lot of great stuff this summer. I'll be at the Birchmere. I'll be at the the Jazz Legacy. I mean, there's a lot going on. So I'll be working this summer, thank goodness, to promote this album. I'm very excited about having all the work lined up to promote the record. That's the main thing I want to do.
Praise God. So wait, how are you going to the magazine? How are you going to get this magazine out? And wait, how often will there be?
Every 3 months. So the next one will be August. Yeah, this one came out in April. Next one will be August. In 3 or 4 months, but it'll be on August. My birthday. It's another birthday episode. I keep saying birthday issue, and and then I'll do it every so often. Just every quarter. I think what I'm trying to do.
Is it digital? Is it a digital?
It's on my website. So after after about a month or so, I put it on my website for free. It's only $5 enough. You can
Listen.
order the physical copies. I send them out through my website, theMAYSAstore.com, along with all the other stuff, all the music and stuff. I have the CD, of course. I have it on. So I have to put on my executive hat there right now because I have to be artist right now. So this is the CD. Of course, there's the CD. All this.
Yes.
Yeah. And then I have it on. Oops.
Oh, wait, can we see that a little longer?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
you
sorry,
know,
baby.
our family members want to see. We want them to see. And
Yeah. It's here we go. Here's the back cover. Let's see if I can put it right way.
I
And
love
that's
it.
the back cover, and this is the front. I'm sorry, my nails are not done. My hands are terrible. I'm going to
Let me
nail
tell you how I
salon
didn't even.
tomorrow. I'm trying to hold on.
I didn't even look at your. I didn't even see your nails until. Yeah, I was so busy looking at the photos. I
Okay,
didn't
here we
even
go.
see. Yes. That let me tell you that those photos are
Thank
incredible.
you, honey. Thank you, sweetie.
Incredible. I mean, how
And
could
so
they
there we go.
not
That's the
be?
album cover. And so at that, and also what I did was, Carol, I noticed that these new cars have these USB only. They don't have CD players anymore. So I made this. Looks like a cassette, but it's actually not a cassette. It's a USB drive.
MAYSA.
You put it, no, for real. You put it in your car, your computer.
See what I'm saying, family? This is what I'm talking about learning. Okay, I tell you that there's something that anybody shares can always be a spark or a pearl, something you can put in your back pocket. This woman right here, I learn something every single time I talk with her. Well, wait, actually, I have a question for you. And this is one of my questions. So, but see, I got so carried away. Pamela, thank you for reeling me back in. One of our family members on our socials is reeling me back in. She would like to know what inspires you to write your songs. That was one of my questions.
Oh gosh, that's anything. It could be a word in a book. It could be somebody pissed me off that day. It could be wake up happy. It could be anything. It's whatever God puts in my heart, in my mind or spirit at that time. I try to act on because as we know, music is the spirit. And if you don't act on it, it will go to somebody else. If you don't write it down, put it down somehow, and you won't remember it, it'll go to somebody else. So that's why I try to immediately put down any ideas before I do that.
I love that. I love that. People ask that all the time, from where does your inspiration come? But as a creative, we're always open. It's how anything moves us. If it moves you, it moves you to that, because spirit will move you quickly and you'll have to get it out. You're like, I got to write this down. Let me, I have all these voice memos in my phone, when you hear a melody or something, or you do the same thing.
Absolutely.
Frankie, wait a minute. Frankie just joined the room. Frank McComb. Frankie, we were just talking about you. He writes two great vocalists, two great sisters. Frankie, you are going to get a call from us because we just came up with this idea about doing a project for the babies, for all the babies, because we love the babies.
Can you imagine Frank write the music he would write from nursery
rhymes? Listen.
You should write nursery rhymes with us, Frank. We definitely want to do that.
Yes. Kenneth, thank you for that too, because Kenneth is making sure everybody knows the MAYSAstore.com, because I was going to ask you to repeat that. Y'all, family, let me tell you something. Frankie said it's done. Frankie said it's done.
I'm excited.
Everybody, family, you saw that, right? You saw that. Okay.
That is so cool.
I'm here. I'm on 10. Well, now I'm on 1,000 because now we have a project in the works. I'm on 1,000.
They got Frank McComb on the line, y'all. There's no joke.
Yes.
The king that is on this page right now.
They have no idea. Oh, Frank, you don't even understand the love we just shared about you. So Pamela has another question. She wants to know, on your new album, what is the meaning of the song Spirit 222?
Oh wow. Spirit 222 came about because I was I went to the studio with my longtime producer, Chris Big Dog Davis, and we were listening to music on like YouTube, listening to stuff, and I said, Big Dog, I want this kind of song because I was supposed to come out last year. So 222 is an angel number that I always capture on my phone. Like people capture 1111 or 333 or something like that, and 222 was coming to me a lot in 2022 and the beginning of 2022, and I said I gotta write something because the spirit is telling me to do something. So I said, I got to do something with spirit. I kept saying, spirit is coming to me. Spirit is telling me to do something. So I said, well, let me write this song, Spirit 222. And so we started writing, and I just had the melodies just came to me. The song is mostly about if we really, as human beings, took the time to love on each other first, this whole world, we could change everything. And this has been spoken about from the beginning of time. I'm not saying anything new, but I know how the environment I grew up in, with loving parents, people who loved people, and people who were loved by people. And so all I know is to love on people, and even at my detriment, even when it's wrong, when I hurt myself in the process.
Oh, MAYSA.
It's like love. I still keep loving on people, and this, like I said, the whole album is my love for everybody. It's just my way to show people love, the best way I know how, because I want everybody to feel that. I've been a compassionate person. My mother said when I was little, I used to hate. She said I used to say to her, "Mommy, why is a man eating by himself? I don't like for him to eat by himself." And she said, "You have compassion, sweetie. That's what that's called. You have compassion for him." He said, "But he's okay. He's okay." And so I would feel sad if I see people eating alone or crying or anything. It just, I guess, as an empath, that's what it is. But at the Spirit 222, I just wanted people to know that it just takes a second to make a decision on how you react to things. Now, defending yourself is one thing. That's fine. That's not an issue. But if we can just stop showing the world our sadness by being mean to each other, and just try to love on people as much as we can, I think we could. It'll be an easier world, and so that's why I wrote that song.
We are such kindred spirits. On that note, family, stay with us because we're going to take a short break, but we'll be right back. I'm Carol Riddick, the host of Love and Life. And guess what, family? I will be live. That's right. I can speak with you about the real facts and honest opinions on dating, sexual health, casual and committed relationships. Join me Monday through Thursday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. The conversations will be served on a judgment-free platter and seasoned with unapologetic realness. So join me Monday through Thursday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Pollution from trucks is a public health crisis. Diesel-burning trucks belch dangerous levels of pollution, and communities living near ports and along freight corridors breathe especially high levels of this dirty air. But this crisis has a solution. My name is Sasan Sadat, and I work for Earth Justice. I'm working to clean up our air quality, particularly for communities that bear the burden of diesel pollution. For the sake of our lungs, our health, and our climate, the future of trucking in this country has got to be zero emissions. Until then, I will never rest.
Earth Justice is a national legal nonprofit defending the environment and people's health. Earth Justice is fighting to save lives, protect our climate, and strengthen our economy through the shift to zero emissions. If clean air matters to you, visit us at earthjustice.org. Earth Justice, because the earth needs a good lawyer.
April is National Poetry Month.
Will they clone little black girls who won't die but fight, who supplement stamina for endless struggles to write? Will they clone little black girls like Asada, Sonia, Tubman, knowing what they know? Will they clone little black girls like Nikki, Zora, Mommy, Grandma, who orchestrate transmutation as they go under cloaks of duplicity and breaches staggering? Rhetorical, I know. Will they clone little black girls like Sojourner, Rosa, Fannie Lou, Frances Ellen, Maxine, Angela, Tony, who brave notwithstanding ghettos, guns, gloom, doom, distracted and detracted mothers mothering, who staved unequivocally and persevered, erasing all doubt of concession, digression, misconception, and their wonder? Will they clone little black girls with the integrity of legacy? Little black girls like me, like you, that won't die but fight. Will they clone little black girls? I know that's right.
That was Lois Moses on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Hey there, family. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. That's WURD radio.com. We are joined by none other than my beautiful sister in song, MAYSA. And if you just joined us, let me tell you something. We've talked about everything under both umbrellas of love and life. We've just told all of our business. But before the last commercial break, we were talking about her music that we love, 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 love. And guess who joined us in the room on our socials? Two of our good friends that we love and adore. Both Mr. Frank McComb and Mr. Will Downing. They both joined us in our socials. Okay. Rowena says, yes, yes, yes. Loving on people instead of hating and judging would make for such a better world. Rowena, I can't agree with you more. I cannot agree with you more. I'm telling you, Mace, I think we're kindred spirits because I say it all the time. You talking about the story when you were little. I was going to go live with a homeless woman. That's because we would see this homeless woman every day. And I was so upset that she was by herself. I packed the bag. Well, I didn't have anything in the bag but my toothbrush. I don't know where I planned on doing any of this, but in any event, I was a little girl. My mother said, go ahead. Go ahead. But I love, love, love. That's one of the things that I love about you most, your heart. Your spirit. Family, you've heard me talk about her voice. You've heard me say how I love her voice, but it's her spirit that speaks so loudly to me. I love that because I'm a love bug, and I see that in you. That you two are a love bug. Will says he's showing support and he's learning. You know what? What are you learning? God bless you both. You know we love you.
Yes.
Okay, his crazy self. You know we love you. But going back to that, yeah, it's your spirit. And I love your music. It says so much about your heart. It says so much about who you are as a person, as a woman, as an individual, and your transparency. I can't thank you enough for that. As another woman in this industry, I can't thank you enough for your transparency. It's just a beautiful thing. I want to make sure our family members know where to find you on socials, on your website, all of that. Would you share that with us, please, for our family members who don't have that info?
Okay. If you go to MAYSA.com, MAYSA.com, there's my social media links. It's the links to how to purchase the new album. There are links to the store, the MAYSA store, and some other things I have on there. I need to upgrade my tour page, but I'm working on that soon. But other than that, that's the way that you can find me and find all my links to my Facebook page, especially for Kitchen Karaoke Sundays. When I get back from this cruise in a month, I'll start it up again.
Now, what time does Kitchen Karaoke Sundays take place?
It starts at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time.
I love it. See, we got to let everybody know.
Okay.
So because and I think it's important. Facebook, I want you to hear this, okay? Because you can't shut us down. And they need to know, since some of our family members are unaware now, that Kitchen Karaoke is in full effect. They need to know.
On 7 years later.
7 years.
Yeah, long time.
In and of itself is amazing because we're talking about pre-pandemic. Through the pandemic, and there were so many things that started during the pandemic that are no longer in existence, and here you are before the pandemic, during the pandemic, and now after, thriving. Okay.
Thank you.
Oh my! Wait, Will says that Wanda gives us dancing lessons.
She does. Last night she decided to dance with a bag of popcorn. My brother has a big bag of popcorn. She danced with that the whole night. She's nuts.
She
And
danced with the
she makes it a lot of fun. I can barely get through these songs sometimes listening to her. I can't watch. I can't look up. If I look up and see her behind me, it's over.
I'm not
And that's how
mad.
she started the whole thing. She started when I was doing karaoke in my apartment. I was living in an apartment because I wanted Jazz to go to a certain school for a while, so I moved on that area. And the apartment, I started it there, and I used to remember singing, and I remember opening my eyes, and she was behind me dancing. I was like, "What is going on?" So she started, and the people loved it. So she's been doing it ever since. So just when she can, she's been through a lot lately. Loss of her mom and a lot of stuff. She hasn't been on as much, but now that she's back, we're having a good time.
I do have one other question for you about your process of writing music. Now, family, y'all know me. Y'all know I'm all over the place, so stay with me. Like how do you determine like what your project is going to be about? What's your process for that, or is there a process for it, or do you just let it come to you?
I really just let it come to me. It depends on sometimes people send in music or like I said before, like it's anything could inspire me, anything around me at the time, like the song, but this song in particular, the title track to Music for Your Soul, all I came up was music for your soul. It takes you to a place. And that's all I heard. And I heard a couple words. And then I gave it to my background singer. I said, Angie, can you help me write these lyrics? I don't know. I was having a little bit of writer's block. And when and I had the whole melody and everything in Music for Your Soul. When she came back and let me hear the actual lyrics to it, I just cried like a baby because she got into my head and she wrote what I wanted to say. And she's very good at that. Angela Phillips is a great songwriter. So it was just that kind of inspiration, and working with a producer named Kenny Allen, who was in Ethiopia for quite a few years. And he just coming back to work back in the States again. He's another producer that I love working with. I wanted Afrobeat on my album. I wanted to kind of explore that a little bit. And he was able to, help me with that too. Chris Big Dog Davis, I mean, we could just sit in the room and just like be inspired. He could play anything on the keyboard and I'll hear something and, and that's how we work. So it all comes, it's a spirit, it's God, it's a privilege that I'm honored to have that God has bestowed upon me and you and Will and Frank and people in this industry who we understand what this is. We know what this is, and so we embrace it as that. And we don't, I surround myself with the non-egomaniacs, with the people who know that this is the real deal, and we're doing God's work. So that makes me happy. It's also an inspiration.
Amen to that. Amen to that. We have some more comments on our socials. Pamela writes that I really like your rendition of "You Know How to Love Me" on your new album.
Oh wow! Thank you.
Yes,
So cool.
yes.
Yeah, I was scared to cover Phyllis Hyman. It's like it was scary. A lot of people been doing it for a long time, better than me. I was like, I just gonna try because a friend of mine they had challenged me. It's like you always say you're gonna do Phyllis Hyman, you never do Phyllis Hyman. So I said, okay, I'm gonna try it this time, and I just love that song. So
it's a wonderful song. But I think you can do anything. So
it's so funny. My first album, MAYSA, had a song called "What About Our Love," and that was written for Phyllis Hyman, and she turned it down. And that's the only reason why I got that song, so she turned the song down.
You know what? See, it's these pearls. This is what I'm saying. Wait, Joey Dixon writes, peace. Cheryl writes, we love and appreciate you, MAYSA, for sharing your God-given gift with us so freely. Family, you already know what I'm about to say. It's the time of the show that I hate and loathe because it's the time where we begin to wrap up. And as always, I extend my utmost gratitude to you for your continuous support of Love and Life. Awesome. Special thanks to all of our family members, especially and particularly our callers tonight, Ron and Friendly Fred, to all of our families who reached out to us on our socials. Anthony Savoy writes, love you, MAYSA. And Pamela wants to know if you'll ever record another Christmas album or a gospel album.
Yeah, actually, I'm going to record on the Christmas album that I already did. I'm going to buy it from the last record company, and I'm going to Tina McNeil's on it. I'm going to buy it from the company that I was with before, and I'm going to expand it a little bit and re-release it.
Nice.
Yes.
Well, Ernestine wants you to know that her all-time favorite is Deep Water.
Okay.
Family, special thanks, tremendous thanks to you, MAYSA, as always, because you know I love and adore you. I couldn't love you more.
Thanks.
And I'm so grateful that you came to share
Thank you,
some
honey.
time.
Thank you so much for having me. It's
Thank
great.
you. Thank you for sharing your time, your energy, your attention, and
Thank you
everything
for your
that you
voice,
do.
girl. Thank you for your voice.
Oh, God bless you.
Absolutely, Carol.
Don't you make me. Thank you to the entire WURD family. Special thanks to Kayla J for making sure everything runs smoothly. Family, you know I say it every show. We are all in this together. So be good to you, but be good to those around you. Have a great night and be sure to join me again Monday through Thursday, 7 through 9 p.m. Eastern Time for another edition of Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. Good night, family.
Did you know Henry Ossawa Tanner, the first internationally known African-American painter, lived and studied